podcast. That's Robbie. I'm Donny. I hope you're all listening and doing really well. What are we doing here? Well, we're going to start a new podcast. Very fun. Very organic and normal introduction that was. Wasn't sweating on that. Wasn't trying to make that as seamless as possible. Did fuck it up anyway. Feel free to make those laughs outside, not just sit there in silence. Feel free for that, Robbie.
Keep going.
That's Robbie, owner, Dryland owner, 537. Owner of looking hotter than me, just overall good guy. And I'm Donny Sports. You should probably know me from somewhere, I'd hope.
Oh, no, I'll do you.
Go.
Radio host, podcast host,
Yeah.
YouTube. 400 subscribers.
400 subscribers on YouTube.
And
TikToker. And now,
divorced,
new blonde hair edition as well.
Blonde hair guy.
Okay, divorced. Yeah, cool. Okay, no need for that. Didn't bring your marital status up. That's all right, brother. That's all good. No stress at all. No, this is One More Mate podcast. We're trying to become an extra mate you didn't know that you needed while teaching you something that you didn't know. Oh, that works.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
I actually love that.
Can somebody please write that down? Basically, what me and Robbie have decided is... since I've moved up to Townsville, it's been obviously working at the radio station has been very fun. Power 100, 5:30 till 9 every single day. iHeartRadio, go check it out. Has been very fun. It's been a creative environment, but getting to find some extra blokes up here that are equally as creative, like you boys up here that are working out of 537 is fucking sick. Really love it. And we thought, let's start making some cool gear, and this is kind of just gonna follow that through. We've already shot some sick videos in the bag.
Yep.
We went beekeeping. That video will be out later this week. And we also ranked a bunch of other stuff that'll be out in a little bit later. But basically, we're just trying to get ourselves a little bit further out of our comfort zone, learn things that we didn't know before. So technically, I guess you could say, this is an educational podcast. This is technically, could be used for territory study, maybe one day. But this is, I think when we upload this, we'll file it under educational, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Education. Yep. I can see us in the realm of like top 10 educational podcasts in Australia.
Yeah, is that an unattainable goal? Is that a goal that is so unattainable that you wouldn't even try to go for it? No. I know, and listen, I'm going to also shoot this elephant in the head that's sitting in the room right now. There's a lot of people that listen to the Donny Sports podcast, a lot of people that listen to the Sensational podcast. Where's Jordan? Jordan is gone forever. He's never coming back. We hate each other. We had a massive falling out. We're not happy with each other. It's going to take a long time to put water under that bridge, brother. But no, Jordan's very busy at work. I'm very busy at work. Somehow, some way, I said the podcast would get better once I came to Townsville. Turns out, false. Turns out not true at all. Turns out, in fact, quite the opposite. Didn't get better, stopped completely.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, but I love Jordan. Also, always have a lot of time for Jordan. I will always have a lot of time for Jordan. Who knows? We might do something again down the line. He might come and guest on this podcast as well. But as for right now, Sensational, dead, buried, and never coming back because we hate each other and we have beef.
Replaced, brother.
Replaced. All right, big shoes to fill. If you ask a good friend of mine, Lukey Stowe, what you need to do to bring Jordan's energy to this podcast, right? Jordan's first 5 episodes, more laughing than talking. So if you can bring that, Lukey Stowe will be happy.
You know what, Luke? I'm not going to laugh.
That's going to be awful
I'll
for
talk
everyone.
the whole time. I won't even giggle. I will just talk.
Yeah, he said it was nice of Jordan to be such a good mate that he laughs at things that aren't funny just to break silence. He's already started. You've already started. I like it. We're going to obviously do a little bit of footy chat because that's wrapped up in our weekend.
Yeah,
but
the
the crux of this show is teaching each other something that we didn't know a week ago.
A week ago, prior to the episode, hopefully you teach me something, I teach you something, and don't shit down our throats. But it's just going to be a bit of fun. It's
so funny because we've did a dry run of this, and you were not nervous about people fact checking you. Now the lights are on for real, and the first thing you've said is, "Oh, I'm just a bit nervous. People are going to fact check you." Get over it.
Yeah,
they're going to be mad at you regardless.
I know. So I was looking at like what would be super interesting, and then when you start to deep dive onto like, well, when you're like learning stuff or like someone hits you with something, I go, "Oh yeah, that's interesting." And then when you really start to look into it, you're like, "Oh, there's so much more information about this." I just, I don't want to sound like a fucking idiot.
The thing that I have to tell you today is about the time, and I don't know if you've heard about this. I don't know if you know anything about this. when the South Sydney Rabbitohs stole a premiership, and they still run around claiming they have 21 premierships, but it is false. It is not true. It is a lie. They stole one, and I have the full story as to how they got away with the heist of the century back in 1909. I have the information. I have the story. What do you got?
That's freaking way cooler than what I had. Dude, I told you my weekend. I said, what are you doing this weekend? I was like, I'm going to sit and watch the UFC. And you're like, cool. I was like, you watch the UFC? And you're like, not really.
Not overly.
Anyway, I probably would describe myself as like an amateur fan. But on the weekend, I learned how the scoring works.
Oh, you learned how scoring of the UFC works?
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually going to be so good.
Well,
because I have no...
I always see the little Twitter things pop up. People just like, yeah, I've scored that. And I'm like...
I have literally no idea what that could mean.
No idea what that means.
Oh, this is good.
So I just like did a little look. Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
It's less interesting than you think. No. Can I be honest?
What a hook.
What a hook.
What an absolute hook.
But it's good to know. No, it's great to know. I'm so glad I know it.
Yeah.
I thought there was more to it.
Right.
And then I just realized...
No, I'm excited for that because whenever I watch boxing or UFC.
Same. I'll go both.
I just pray that there's a knockout because otherwise...
Yeah.
And it feels like if there's not a knockout in those sports, that everyone is just... it's rigged.
Yeah,
It's rigged.
It's so ambiguous. Is that the right word? You kind of hear, you'll hear the commentators and they might say, "Oh, I scored this. Or I think so and so's won this round," and then the ref will just be like, "Nah, totally different." So yeah, I've got that. I got that. Went for a look and I thought that'd be interesting. At least it helps us amateur watchers froth it a little more.
Now, for those watching on YouTube, which you should be because the product is just spectacular, you and I are sporting Dryland merch right now.
Yes, sir.
Dryland is a fucking sick brand. It's a dope brand. These are samples, right?
No, so what have I got on?
You've got on the trucker.
No, so this one will be out next week.
So the cow trucker.
This will be out next week.
That's
a sample.
This is a sample.
Well, I'm going to know about it.
It looks fucking sick.
Could be one. Could be
pull the
one.
trigger on this, surely.
Yeah, it could. Surely. That one might be one of one.
Okay.
So I've got some changes.
Okay, well, I'll try to get my nits all through it then.
Yeah, well.
But so the Dryland hat.
This one will be on sale
truckers.
Monday. Yep. A couple of those other truckers that are behind camera there will also be on sale on Monday.
Okay.
Which I'm pumped for.
Yep.
Before that, footy shorts coming out on Friday.
Footy shorts this Friday. What date's that? Second.
No. What's today?
3rd of July when this
5th?
comes out, which makes it 5th of July.
5th of July.
Shorts on sale, and that's a collab.
6 p.m. It is a collab with Aussie Footy Shorts.
Okay.
The greatest collab of all time.
Dryland X Aussie Footy Shorts. They look like this. It's on the YouTube right now.
We actually should wear them. I mean, it doesn't freaking matter. You can't see
the
them.
Aussie Footy Shorts are comfy, man.
Yeah, dude, they're good.
They are comfy.
I'm so pumped. When we started the collab, you want it to be good, right? When it's your thing and you're putting your heart behind it, it's like, I hope it's good. And when they rocked up, I was like, yes!
Yeah, they look sick. They're the topography ones, right?
Yeah, the topography ones. And then we have some more that'll be coming later in the month.
Yeah, fuck
Plus other extras. So, no, keen as, dude.
Sick. Was that mostly your weekend getting that stuff ready for this week?
Dude, no, my weekend was actually... Weekend was actually very laid back. It was quite a lazy weekend. What did I do? I even wrote it down because I was like, don't forget it because it was that boring. I sat and watched the UFC, obviously. Went to my first engagement party.
Oh, first ever. How old are you?
25.
25, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that era where I usually film a lot of weddings.
Yep.
So don't go to, or you'll get invited to a wedding and then at the end they go, reckon you could film a wedding for us?
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was my first engagement party. I'm becoming that age, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was
big one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Had a VB.
Yeah.
Freaking delicious.
Dude, some people call it the second best beer in Australia.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard them say it. I've heard tell that some people believe that to be true. I would never, as someone from Queensland, but I've heard tell.
So it was bar tab, punched back a few VBs. It was friggin' good. Then on Sunday, dude, I watched the UFC. I looked at the cow prices.
Yeah.
They suck for anyone that cares.
Yeah.
Cattle price at the minute suck.
Yeah, cattle price. I'm happy to be bringing that information to fruition.
Yeah, they suck.
Not good on the cattle.
No, we're preg-testing next week, and usually it's like a time of weaning, and so you and I about, do I get rid of all my weaners and just flip them, or if you hold on to them, you got to try and split them up from mum.
To your weaners, did you say?
Weaners, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But like, what would you call them? Teenagers?
Yeah.
just general term. It's where you wean them off mum. Separate them from mum.
Okay.
Because if you leave them on mum for too long, still sucking mum's teat. Mum, eventually has to use so much energy.
So different to when I'm normally talking about wieners and mums, mate. Like this is a lot different.
No, same thing. When you stop sucking and anyway. Dude, so we're weaning next week, and then so I was like, I'm an ahhing about cow prices, and they suck. So that's my next week is planning on what we're going to do with our wieners. So honestly,
why are you saying this to me with a straight face like this? What you're saying isn't fucking ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. It's very important, Donny. I had to sit and have a serious think.
I had a fucking gargantuan.
Oh, no,
Sunday,
fuck
mate.
that. Actually, this guy on Sunday afternoon, everyone, let me tell you a story. Sunday afternoon, I was like watching the USC, looking at cattle prices, going, frick, this sucks. And then I was like, okay, 4:30, I'm like, I gotta go shoot content for the footy shorts.
Yeah.
That was my thing. And so I'm getting my camera ready, got all my stuff, grabbed a couple of dogs, we go down in the yard, and I get this phone call, like this FaceTime from this like dyed hair, gorgeous,
blonde hair, hazel-eyed, bombshell. Blonde hair, hazel-eyed, bombshell.
Yeah, he rings me and goes, "Hey, brah, what are you doing?"
Did I see? Was I already like pretty plastered at 4:30?
Yeah, dude, at 4:30, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I say, what do you mean? What am I doing? 4:30 on a Sunday afternoon. I'm fucking doing nothing.
Public holiday on the Monday.
Yeah,
Public
I forgot about that.
On the Monday.
It's another thing I have a gripe with the public holiday being like the public holiday's just in Townsville.
Yeah,
it's just so confusing.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, not the point. This guy calls me and goes, "I got a spare ticket for Live on the Lawn
to an event that
I'm already at. That's been on since like 1 o'clock. Do you want to come?"
Yeah.
That's when I knew I was like second best.
No. I offered you a ticket last week. You say that I didn't. You say that I didn't.
You're a liar.
Clearly talking about you well.
And then Jack rings me and goes, "Hey, bro, I got a ticket for you if you wanted to come."
Yeah.
I'm like, it is 4:30.
Mate, well, I went for another like 12 hours after that, so you could have joined in on the fun. Because Sunday...
I felt second best.
And I've said this a lot of times now. I keep on pushing past my personal bests, but... Sunday was the biggest night I've had in Townsville since I moved here.
Really?
Without a doubt. It was like I was 18 again.
When did you ring me yesterday? Lunchtime?
Yeah.
You didn't look like that. Like a big bag of smashed assholes?
That's because I'm an adult and I'm a professional and I carry myself well. But essentially what had happened was we were at this event Live on the Lawn. Young Franco, young Freezy was playing, who I fucking love young Franco. He's a Brizzy boy. I've seen him play many a time. I'm a big fan. You don't know who Young Franco is?
No,
that's okay. No, I don't know what a wiener is. So we're learning something new every day. Yeah, DJ.
Okay,
Young Franco
continue.
has some banger hits, right? Yeah. Absolute. He's in my Spotify Wrapped every year. I'm a fan. I'm a Young Franco fan, right? My mate Danny, she gives me a call. She does a show up here as well. She gives me a call. She's like, "I'm on my way back. I've had a big afternoon. Bad things have happened. We're getting fucked up." And I go, and me and her have never gone out before. And I go, you know what? I'm in a position to lock in if you want to lock in. Young Franco's coming on. Let's do it.
This sounds like a date that I was like definitely like a way like third, fourth, fifth thought now.
No.
That's what that sounds like. It sounds like that came up and you went, oh, fuck that guy.
No. You were invited to this, but Danny gets there. She's a DJ, right? DJ Delicious. And she's a fucking gun. Yeah, no, what a name. DJ
That's
Delicious.
So good.
DJ Delicious.
What a name.
She's an absolute gun.
Yep.
And she goes, "You want to meet Young Franco?" And I go, "Danny, I would love to meet Young Franco." So before you know, I'm plastered. So he comes on at like 8 o'clock. So at 4:30, you got me. So add 4 hours to that. Add 4 hours to that. I'm standing literally at the side of the stage while Young Franco's performing. I have no idea. I'm like 3 meters away from him. And like for a lot of people, yeah, sure, Young Franco, he's big, but he's not like the most famous person ever, right? But to me, it was like, my mates will think this is so sick. Like, this is so sick. But it's the first time I ever had been whisked backstage. So I'm at the side of the stage watching this, and it's a festival, right? There's like a few thousand kids down their desk. I'm like, I'm the guy.
I'm here.
I'm the fucking... And but it was so awkward because like, she goes, "You want to meet him?" I go, "Yeah, I'd love to meet him." That'd be so sick. But then I'm like, this guy, I'm fucked.
Yep.
Very drunk, right?
Yep.
This guy's at work right now, right?
Yep.
And he didn't really clock me that I was there, but like clearly we got there with like 20 minutes to go on the set. So now it's like I start to realize the second this guy stops playing, I'm making. We get a photo, please. Like immediately.
You're the 100th face he's seen, and you're the first one. He's like, you're the 100th person he's met on that trip, but you're the first he's going to see after the show. And he just wants to get. Wants
to be nowhere but fucking out of there. And dude, I fucked it. And it's so funny because Jord, actually, I'm sorry to speak ill will of the dead here, but Jord, we went when we were 18, so this is years ago. Yep. We flew down to Sydney to see him play a New Year's Eve party.
Who is this guy?
Dude, young Frank, he's a fucking gun. So
keep going, I'm listening to this.
Dude, this party was like, it was a sick party that we're at in Sydney. And I hate name dropping, but it was just so funny that this all happened, right? Do you remember, you don't even remember, like, Frenchie and like Noel Kohatka and stuff. But this was back in fucking like, so 8 years ago. So like the peak of like the Roundabout Boys and shit like that, right? You know, like the peak of that. So we're at this party, they're at this party, young Franco's there. I'm 18. I'm having the best possible fucking time because I'm a mad fan of Frenchie and Noel and stuff. Mad fan of young Franco. George gets so blind. He wants to like leave his impression on young Franco, right? And we've spoken about this for the better part of a decade now. We'll both be 28 this year, right?
Wow.
So we're 18, right? He, for some reason, George decides in all his wisdom to offer up young Franco an expired movie gift card. We still to this day do not know why. While he's playing, while he's doing a set, George walks up to him with an expired movie gift card. He goes, I wish I could give you some money right now, but this is all I have. And gives him this $50.
That's such a drunk gift.
Just such a so we've spoken about that for years, right?
Yeah, I
so
love that.
now I have the weight of that. It's a meeting 10 years in the making.
You should have given a drink ticket.
Well, or what I did do is just fumble it, dude. Like, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just come out with, dude, you were on my Spotify Wrapped last year, and he goes, yeah, dude, sick. It sounds like I made it then. I was like, I don't want to be here. I've absolutely fumbled this. Like, and he was so lovely. It wasn't him. Super, super lovely guy.
No, of course it's not him.
Couldn't have had more time for me.
No.
But it was just like, it was in that second when I was like, I don't know what to say to him. I was like, it all came over me like the most hectic imposter syndrome. Like, why are you back here? Who are you with? What's going on here? And I was just like, oh, that was uncomfortable. And then the best bit was, me and Danny had like a plan. She's like, all right, you get a photo, then I'll get a photo, then we'll get a photo together. I'm like, sweet. Yeah. So we're like, dude, it felt like we were at like a pit stop. We're like, all right, now I go. And now she's going to go. And now we'll get one together. And then, anyway, we decided from that moment to well and truly rip. Like rip. So Danny DJ's up here. So she fucking knows everyone. Mm-hmm. So we go to Flinders, right?
Wow, yeah.
Flinders HQ. On Flinders Street.
I want to come back. Wait, does he come back into your story?
No. That's the end of the.
Do you think he will remember you?
Well, it's funny. Danny put up a photo there. I think Danny knows him somehow, right? Danny puts up a photo today of the three of us, and young Franco's commented on it, like 2 love hearts. So I'm like, he has to remember it to some degree. Does he remember the expired movie gift card though? Now that's what we need to get to the bottom of.
It's a great question. Will he remember the guy that also was like, "Hey, you're on my Spotify please."
Dude, that's such a great Spotify Wrapped, bro.
Like, oh, you're that guy. No, that's good, dude. I think that's great. Dude. Continue, sorry.
Dude, go to Flinders HQ, and they just were letting me, God bless, the entire staff of Flinders HQ, because they were just allowing us to, I guess, no other way to put it, run amok. Because Danny DJ's there. She DJ'd there on Saturday night.
Define it.
So we go in. She just strolls around like she fucking... Everyone loves her there, right?
Right. Was it busy?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a Sunday... It was busy. Yeah. We're up behind the DJ again, annoying someone at work, you know? But then Danny goes, come with me. There's a second DJ booth. Oh. Full lighting rig is in there, right? Ooh. So all the buttons for the lights. Yeah. And then she goes.
Like a little kid.
And then Tom, the guy, one of the managers there, he goes, do you want to fuck with the lights? I'm like, I would love to fuck with the lights. And he goes, this is a strobe light. That one turns it on. That one changes the color. I was in there for like 15 minutes, just like, like a kid, blind, munted, maybe giving people seizures. Who's to say?
Did you think at that time that was the coolest thing?
Dude, I thought, the amount of videos I have of that DJ booth, for reasons I do not know. And dude, I would have thought I was so on beat and like really adding to the atmosphere. There had to have been hundreds of people going, dude, whoever's on the fucking lights tonight is an idiot. Is an absolute idiot. You are blinding me. I'm like, look now, it's pink. Like
that's so good.
I had such a good time. Dude, the second wind. So went to Mad Cow as well. And we were just knocking back shots. I pulled Danny aside at one point. I said, dude, I haven't been this drunk since I was 18. I don't believe. Like, I was proper legless. And I go, I Irish exited, right? End up in the cab line. You know an Irish exit? No. Smoke bomb, right?
Roger. Yep.
Go to the cab line.
I like that.
Go to the cab line. I'm lining up for a cab, right? And I have 3 pieces of pizza. 1 pepperoni, 2 meat lovers, right? From the pizza shop, late night slice.
How much that cost?
Who knows? Great question.
Tap.
I'm in line, and then I get a text from Danny while I'm in line for the cab. Cab line through the roof, because of course it is.
Yeah.
Always is. And she goes, hey, where'd you go? And in that moment, I was ready for bed, right? And just a second wind hit me. I donated my pizza to the other members of the line to a hero's welcome. A hero's welcome. I go, guys, if anyone wants this pizza, I'm going back to the cow. And I marched back in there and I probably kept on going for another two and a bit hours.
Wow.
That's a second wind. That is a second wind.
2 things. How did the pizza taste? Did you have any of it?
I had half of one of the slices. And also, might I add that this whole evening you might be thinking, okay, this is a bit degenerate. This was spurred on by the fact that the mighty North Queensland Cowboys had defeated the defending, reigning 3-peat premiers at Bluebet Stadium on a dry track, which hasn't been done for 7 years. Ask random stats guy. So this was egged on majorly by an absolute coup down in Western Sydney on Sunday afternoon.
Well, actually, no, my second point was you're in line for a taxi, right? Like, if I'm you, I look at that line and knowing where you live, I go, I'll get a scooter. Could you get a scooter?
Dude, I was in no position to scooter home.
Could you walk?
Yeah, I could have, but it's like a $8 cab.
Oh, but it was a cab line. How big is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was big enough for me to say drinking in the cows a better use of my time.
Not that I condone betting, but I did put cows to win.
Did you?
Yeah, dude.
What was that paying?
$3.96.
That's way too low.
Yeah.
I would have thought that would have been paying a lot more.
I
could have got them 13 plus.
What's the score?
Oh, no, 16-6. Yeah, right. No, you couldn't.
I did think about it after. And then I was so proud of myself. Hey, I was like saying to all my mates, being like, never doubted them.
Nah.
Never doubted them.
Well, it just goes to show that Queensland gets origin time footy.
Yeah.
Queensland simply understands origin footy.
North Queensland.
North Queensland simply not the Broncos. Also, quick message to the Broncos membership team. You keep trying to call me. I know I haven't paid for that membership. I will not be using it. Please stop calling me. There's someone out there that needs to hear that. You call me every couple of days. I will not be returning the calls. I will not be returning the calls. I will not be. I can't use the membership. It rolled over from last year.
You had one from last year.
I had a Broncos membership because you get cheaper tickets. You get cheaper tickets at Suncorp Stadium, right? Sure, I know it's Judas behaviour. I know. We've done this before. Go talk to Darcy and Klutz about it. I know. I understand completely. Having said that, let me say this. Is it not good of me? Is it not anti-Judas behaviour to the cows to be actively stuffing around the Broncos membership team? Because
no, I think it's hilarious.
Think about this. I'm kind of a secret agent as precious time at Broncos HQ is being devoted to trying to get me on the phone to talk about the multitude of missed payments for this Broncos 4-game flexi membership.
How much is it? How much membership?
I have no idea.
Too much.
It rolled over from last year.
Too much.
I will say this. It's an automatic withdrawal. So either I'm in a really bad financial position or the membership is too high. 2 things can be true. But I can't stress this enough. Please stop calling me.
Block my number.
You will not be getting a return from me. I will not be picking up those payments. I will not be using the tickets either, if that makes you feel better. I live in Townsville. Thank you. I hope that reaches the right people.
Go to the Cowboys. Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Have you got a Cows membership?
Yes, I do.
Good man.
I have a 4-game flexi, and I've used my Cows membership. I've locked in 2 tickets for the Broncos game. I do not need them. If you need them, let me know.
Ooh, don't know if I'm here, but are we going to the Sharks game?
Oh, yeah.
That can be confirmed?
Are you going in that?
I RSVP'd today.
So
I got the email and it was just like...
So we both weaseled ourselves into the box?
Yeah. Oh. Yes, we have. I'm so pumped. It was like the whole thing.
Email today?
Yeah, the email got sent through. It was like, any dietary requirements? I was like, no.
Did you get a +1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who'd you do? Yours is open.
Yeah.
You know mine is?
Who?
Dale.
So Dale didn't get invited?
No, we just got invited. we just got invited, and I brought Dale along. You're welcome.
Yeah, Archie and I will be going. Archie and I,
nice.
so we will.
I'm so excited.
Don't think our friends Jack. Don't think
No
Jack from
Jack.
Star FM
Didn't get it.
Don't think they got invited. I guess that just goes to. I mean, this doesn't mean
Good
anything
luck,
to anyone
buddy.
that doesn't live in Townsville and isn't a part of the Townsville radio wars, but it just makes you think, doesn't it?
It does make you think.
It does make you think.
It does make you think.
The Power Boys get invited and the Star guys don't. I did just do a 20-minute rant about how amazing Danny from Star is, but Jack. Oh, it looks like me and my mate Robbie are going to the Cowboys game in the box, brother. Very nice stuff. But no, that was my
Shout out to you, Jack.
that was my extravagant weekend. I just can't sometimes it's easy to get down into I love my job so much, but with any job, sometimes you get a little bit tired, right?
Sure.
And things get a little bit, but so it's weekends like that where you check yourself mentally and you go, no, living up here and this is sick.
This is sick.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I am categorically having a good time.
God, it would have been a fun little rip, eh?
Oh man, and you could have come. You
Yeah,
could have come along for the ride.
The invite's so late.
Hey, this is technically not a sponsored podcast, but it is sponsored at the same time. We mentioned it at the top, but Robbie and Dryland Co. have some sick hats and shorts coming out both Friday and then another drop on Sunday.
Friday the 5th.
Yeah.
5th of July. Dude, where's the year gone? And then the 8th, we will be having hats come out on the Monday night.
Yeah.
It's a pretty special drop. I'm very pumped for it. It's
They
our
look
first
sick.
set
They
of
got
footy
your
shorts.
mascot on it.
Yeah.
The Dryland. Your missus does the design, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah,
she
it
did.
looks so sick.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. Truckers, if you're a cowboy or a concrete cowboy like me, it's high quality shit because this isn't I know we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
This is not podcast merch.
No, it's not. But it can be.
It can be, obviously,
Yeah.
but this is not podcast merch. This is legit your clothing line. It's great gear. It's built to last. It's fucking sick.
It's sick. So I've got two trucker caps coming out, and then I have a full panel cap coming. 2 panels, the whole way around. Baseball caps, whatever you want to call them.
Do we have the ability
Of course we do.
to give one away?
We do.
If you follow,
Yeah, no, that's a
okay.
good
Yeah,
idea.
go and follow One More Mate on Instagram, and we'll give this one.
Yeah, dude, let's do this one.
We're gonna give
That one.
one of these hats away. Go follow the page, and you get a free hat.
We are going to be doing a heap of giveaways, actually, now that I think about it. So check it out.
I need to tell you a yarn like you had never heard before about rugby league football.
This yarn, I feel like I've heard brief, just because it's a New South Wales thing. You kind of just whatever.
Yeah.
But you just hear you stole the whatever. You hear that rhetoric getting around. But I'm interested.
Okay. I need to tell you the story
Sure.
about how South Sydney
Mm-hmm.
stole a premiership.
I know you're about to tell me.
Yeah.
But my first initial reaction is, how does that work?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad you
I thought it was a
asked.
good question.
Come with me, brother.
Yeah.
The year 1909.
Oh.
We're going back.
Oh, then I
We're,
have no idea what you're
we're
talking about.
going back. The
Yep.
year is 1909, and South Sydney are in a thieving mood. Everyone knows South Sydney, 21 premierships prior to the league. You've got 20, and you know you have 20, and you're acting like you got 21, and you don't. You have 20 because you stole a premiership from Balmain in 1909. This is what happened, right? So South versus Balmain, 1909. South's first, Balmain second. It's going to be a massive blockbuster matchup. Balmain are humming, firing, looking good. Should have been played on neutral ground. New South Wales Rugby League make the decision. No. We're going to play this at the Ag Ground, formerly known as the SCG, which is South Sydney's home ground at the time. Balmain, to put it lightly, hate that. Not fans of that at all. Grand finals meant to be on neutral grounds. New South Wales Rugby League decide, you know what? We think it'll be a better spectacle at the SCG. We're going to take it to South's home ground. Doesn't go over that well. Balmain hate that, all right? At the time, think back to 1909. Lots happening in the world. England in an arms race with Germany ahead of World War I. And we're part of the Commonwealth. England decide that they want to build the biggest battleship of all time. It's called the Dreadnought, right? Nothing's ever hit the seas like this ever. They need it for a big war that's coming. I think you've heard about it. Horrible thing. Over here in Australia, part of the Commonwealth, we decide, you know what? We need to help them out. They need some money to fund the research and development of this big ship. So the Premier of New South Wales at the time decides, you know what? We're going to start something called the Dreadnought Fund and starts taxing and gathering money to send back over to England. New South Wales Rugby League get a hold of this and they go, you know what? We should help out the Premier here. This could be a really good look for our game if we do some fundraising events to start getting some money up in there and sponsor, essentially, the Dreadnought Fund. If we attach ourselves to this, how patriotic would that be? That'd be a really, really good look, right? So the idea is formed for the Kangaroos to play the Wallabies in an exhibition match. Rugby Union versus Rugby League, okay?
What code they play?
They're going to play a game of league.
Yeah, okay.
And so the Kangaroos are going to play the Wallabies.
Right.
And it was going to be a 3-game series.
Wow, okay.
Immediately, scheming began. Because at the time, there was not a lot of loyalty to union or league. Our country's brand new. There was a lot of crossover, in fact, between the Kangaroos and the Wallabies. People would play for both, right? You're representing Australia.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
I got 2 names for you. Because 2 blokes that add to this whole thing. Ever heard of a fella called Henry Jersey Flegg? As in Jersey Flegg?
Yes.
And
you know what? Didn't know that, but yes, obviously I've heard of
so
Jersey Flegg. Henry
Henry Jersey Flegg, as well, he received some funding help from a man called Samuel George Ball, as in SG Ball. So Henry Jersey Flegg and SG Ball put some money together, and Jersey Flegg goes out recruiting members of the Wallabies, paying them to play for the Kangaroos during this 3-game series to make rugby league look better, right? Balmain hate this. They hate this. Their boys have had such a good season. They should be the ones playing for the Kangaroos, not a bunch of Wallabies, right? That's what they're thinking. Why are you recruiting union boys? So this is 2 strikes. Now, Balmain is not happy with New South Wales Rugby League whatsoever. First 3 games happen, right? Not a lot of fanfare for these 3 games of rugby league. So New South Wales Rugby League decides, you know what? Grand final's coming up. To get people to this game, we should use the grand final as the curtain raiser to the Kangaroos versus the Wallabies. And I'll tell you this, Balmain do not like that at all. Getting told that their grand final appearance should be used as a curtain raiser for what is essentially an exhibition match, the 4th of which in a series of 3 that should be dead and buried, right? Balmain are pissed. Stadium's wrong. Their players aren't playing for the Kangaroos, and they're convinced this is not a curtain raiser, this is the grand final. So the guys from Balmain, they call the guys from South Sydney. They go, you know what? This is bullshit. Let's both forfeit the match, share the grand final. And Souths, confirmed or non-confirmed, but Balmain are pretty sure, say, you're on. We'll both no-show the day. No one wins the grand final. That's what South say to Balmain, allegedly, is what they said. Balmain are convinced that South and them are in agreement that neither of them will show up. Gets to the day of the game, 14th of September, 1909. Balmain rock up to this event. They're picketing out the front of the ground, saying, don't go in there. This is a rort. They're ruining everything. This is just an exhibition match for reasons that shouldn't even be going on. This should be the grand final day. What's going on in there is a farce. All the while, inside the ground, South Sydney are in the changing rooms, putting their boots on, putting their jerseys on, putting their shirts on. 2 o'clock rolls around. South Sydney take to the field while Balmain are out the front of the ground, picketing the event. South Sydney kick off to themselves, recover the ball, score a try, referee blows as a try, referee blows full time. South Sydney win the Premiership. And to this day, South Sydney claim it as one of their 21 premierships. Insanity.
Dude.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You can't do that.
That's a freaking wild yarn.
You can't do that. You simply can't do that.
That's insane. They claim that?
It's one of their 21. It's one of their 21 premierships.
You're saying there's a cabinet inside South Sydney With that trophy sitting there.
That trophy is sitting in there. They claim it as one of their 21 premierships. They say it's one of their 21 premierships. They won it against Balmain technically, but Balmain never took the field. South Sydney won a grand final against no one, and they're claiming it.
So they just didn't redo the grand final, right? Like they just end of season, done, finished.
Done.
That was it.
Ref blew full time. Balmain said they were going to sue them. Balmain were going to do this. Nothing came of it. Nothing came of it.
Because it was Balmain just going out and saying, we like it was undercover. Like
they said, and to this day, they say they claim South said that they were going to forfeit with them. South say, not sure what you're talking about, brother. But that's the yarn. That's the yarn. You talk about the Book of Feuds. You talk about the Book of Feuds, brother. That should be a page in there. That should definitely be a page. It is scheming. It is conniving.
That is insane. I did not know that.
How
Why did more people not know that?
I do not know why more people don't know of that story. It blew my mind.
That is incredible. I respect it. And then I go, kind of fucked up.
Just to think the Balmain, the players out the front of the stadium, picketing the event, while Souths are inside the dressing rooms getting changed to go out onto the field and kick off to themselves, recover the ball and score against no one.
Now, I'll play devil's advocate for a second. Okay. Because, I mean, I don't... I'm from Balmain's perspective, I'm furious. From South Sydney's perspective, I go, fucking idiots.
There's a bit of that. There's a bit of that.
A bit of. That's such a Tigers thing to do.
Dude,
dickheads.
From South's perspective, like, it's literally the first ever recorded professional sports psych. It is, in professional terms, the equivalent of going.
See you, boys.
But that's, can you believe it? South
No,
Sydney.
I can't. I mean, that's insane. And you know what? That's such a. It's funny now when you look at the comp today. You go, that. Of course, that happened to the Tigers.
Of course, it happened to the Tigers.
Of course, that happened to the Tigers.
Also, I will say, I don't know if you ever heard this, but in part of my researching, I found out that the Balmain fans used to call themselves Balmaniacs, and I feel like that should come back.
That should come back.
That should come back. The Balmaniacs should definitely be
I love the Balmaniacs.
The Balmaniacs should definitely come
There's
back.
a bunch of Balmaniacs.
The Balmaniacs were not happy.
Oh, dude, I love that.
Because in their opinion, they got screwed 3 times. They got fucking screwed. Wrong stadiums. Our players should be playing for Australia and call it a curtain raiser.
Yeah. And then from South Sydney, they go, sucks to suck.
Womp womp.
Well, listen, let me wrap our episode up with something I learnt on the weekend.
Yes, please
I
do.
obviously sat and watched, and I don't know if you saw the highlights, a wonderful UFC card. Alex, and I want to say Pereira, but I feel like there's a couple other names, Potan, and they're getting out there. Kick Yuri, and I won't pronounce his last name's head off his head.
Clean off his head.
It was
decapitated the man,
unreal. However, I was sitting and watching, thought to myself, and again, I've probably started watching the UFC end of the season, like end of the NRL season last year. When Cows didn't make the 8, I was like, I'm going to start watching the UFC.
Yep.
And it is, let me tell you, sir, I hope you get into it.
It's good gear.
It's such an incredible sport.
I love a UFC
man.
Sunday.
It's such an incredible sport.
I love a UFC Sunday.
It just exposes a human being for who they are, and you just have no idea what's going to happen. It is so sick. Anyway, I've been watching it for now probably what are we, 6-7 months into the year? So nearly, I want to say 8-9 months.
Right.
And have just accepted, who wins by decision. And I always see kind of pop up, I give that a 10-9. I give that and have never thought to question it.
So you're saying you have literally no idea how UFC's
scored?
scored?
Dude, I go, I have no idea how UFC scores.
You just go, it looks like he was winning.
It looks like he was winning. And you know what? That's kind of how the scoring works. So
do you
I
mean?
jumped into a bit of, let me just googly oogly, being like, I want to understand how they've come up with the scoring system. Now,
Yeah.
essentially, they've just taken it from boxing.
Right.
Boxing has a system, and each round is scored out of 10 points.
Yeah.
So you and I go into a biff. I punch you in the face a heap of times. You're a bit bloody. You have to score someone 10 in the round, right? So someone has to get 10 because you just gauge that off. All right, I kind of dominated you that round. He gets a 10, and then we kind of score you.
Oh, so you can't win a round with less than 10?
No.
Right, okay.
Someone has to get 10.
Cool.
Which is a wig out to me because I always thought, like, where do you gauge a 10? A 10 is just whoever had the dominant performance in the round.
Right.
Okay, so you know, I go out, you and I biff. I get a 10, and then they go, Donny was like, no, he was there, but he wasn't. 8.
Yeah.
Right? Or if it's like kind of close, 10-9.
Yeah.
Or they can just go straight. They just call it a draw.
Right.
They don't like them doing it though.
Right.
So they've kind of stolen the idea of boxing because the boxing is the exact same. However, in boxing, you can actually lose points as well. I'll deduct a point. But here's like the funny thing. So you lose a point, and I'll get up the exact, like the technicalities for it. You can lose a point for...
like cheating.
Cheating.
Like hitting someone in the back of the head.
Like,
yeah.
For example, you lose a point if in the UFC, if like someone hand touches the ground, knees on the ground or hands on the ground, and you kick them in the face.
Yeah.
Lose a point for that.
Yeah,
Like they'll drop a point or sack wax, whatever. Might be. However, you lose a point this round, I lose a point this round. Negative equal to negative.
Right.
Just equal each other out.
Okay.
So you just
then they score it like normal.
that just goes back to normal.
Right. Okay.
So they go through, and I was like trying to work out like how do they kind of determine, right? So there's like there's like strikes, like significant strikes, and so who has more kind of significant strikes. There's been fights where one person will have more significant strikes, however, the other person might feel like they're grappling more, like they get them on the ground and they're dominating the they're dominating the ground more, and they'll just go, that person will win the round.
Yeah.
And so it's very much as like just come down to vibe.
Vibe.
It is just very much based on vibe. Like referees can just, whatever they kind of gauge.
Judges, you mean?
The judges, sorry. The judges, they'll just gauge based on that. Like
Right, so there's no like, oh, he got more significant strikes, well, I mean, obviously that'll come
kind
into
of
it. Obviously that'll come into
They
it.
take it like the dominance of the fight. So who controls the ground more? So like,
But they're not going to be like, oh, he had more punches to the head, he had more punches to the body. That means more than this. It's not like scientific like that. No. It just goes, I reckon he won that, so he gets a 10.
Yep.
And he was pretty close, so I'm going to give him a 9. Or he was pretty close, so he's going to get an 8.
Yep. Insanity.
What?
Yeah, dude.
What?
I think that's just crazy.
What? I was sure, like, all, like, the significant punches landed and all that.
It comes into it.
Obviously, it comes into it when they're, like, watching.
But it comes in and they're watching and they're sitting there.
But they're doing, like, tally up, like, 20 punches doesn't equal, like, a point.
They literally just go, like, if the ref just feels like, yeah, he got kicked in the head 10 times, but then I grabbed you and just had you in, like, I was on your back and it was, like, kind of dominating on the ground for a bit, like...
Even, 10 all.
No, they again can't do a 10-all. They might just flip the other way. Can't do any 10-all. Like they can do it, but it's unfair. They might just flip it and go 10-9.
And then the next round go 9-10.
9-10.
Wow.
So there's some resultings in it, right? So I'll just read them out to you. So we kind of get. So there's like a unanimous decision, right? Where all 3 judges score. Whoever me, all 3 rounds, right? Unanimous.
Woo. Right. That's what it means.
Split decision. It's like, so 2 judges have like, fight at me and a head, and while the other judge has
the other guy.
Other head. That means box, like I'll win because it's like 2-1. 2-1. And then there will be a draw. So if one judge has it as a draw, you have me. So say we're the judges. Sorry, let's put 3 here. So it's like he has a draw, you have me, I have you.
Yeah.
Draw.
Right. So it's not all 3 judges saying it's a draw.
No.
And the judges don't convene with each other either, hey? They just hand in their cards. So there's no like, oh, well, let's fucking sort this out. Right. But you got to be such a bitch if you're a judge and you put in a draw. Because you know what you're doing.
It's very unfavored.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah. They don't love it at all. And so it was like, I remember those...
Like how cowardly.
There was this fight. I think it was Strickland and Drakus for the middleweight championship. And And if you look at Drakus, you look like if you just look at the two of them, Drakus looks like he had the living shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people just went, oh, well, we think Sean won. But if you go back and watch the fight, Drakus is just always in Sean's face and is always just dominating, but he got punched way more.
Yeah.
But it's just he feel like he controlled the thing. Or if you're in the case of where Volk is dominating Islam in one of the cards, well, the referee's just in that case it is.
Wow.
It's just a vibe, dude.
And when they say take off a point, that means from...
There can be an illegal strike.
But that goes from... Might be scoring them a 9, but that'll be an 8.
Yeah, it'll drop down to an 8, yeah.
Wow.
So they can just 10-8 it.
Wow.
Yeah, unless they both lose a strike, then they'll just niggle each other out. But that's how it's kind of scored.
Yeah,
it's just,
I never knew that.
You can just go through, and so that's when you'll see those little pop-ups on Twitter and go, "Ooh, I've scored I've scored Pereira 10-9 here this round, or 10-8 Pereira or whatever it might be." That's their vibe, and then they'll just go. So you can kind of take any of that into consideration. Wow. But at the end of the day, it really is just what the judges are feeling.
I had no idea.
It's just there's a lot of controversy to it because some judges are just whack. There was a fight card 2 weeks ago where it was all over the shop. But I think it is if you do watch I shouldn't just shit on the judges like that. If you do watch a majority of fights, it is just who it was, just a more dominant fighter.
I'm gonna be now scoring. I got him. I got that 10-8.
Yeah, and you can just that's a little fun game you can play now. See how dialed in you are.
Damn, I had that 10-9. I guess I'm wrong.
And just watch everyone put their own little comments up. Anyway, man.
Now I know I'm fully equipped to be a keyboard warrior in the UFC comments now. Thank you so much.
And boxer. Now I think that in boxing, depending on where you fight, I think they actually show the score.
Oh, really?
During the fight, I feel like when I watched.
But that's the commentators will be putting theirs in. Not the actual judges.
So the judges have to put theirs in straight away after each round. I think I don't know if that's in Australia though, but I do remember when I watched Tim Tszyu and I was trying to find the correct. If that was correct or not, but it feels like it's different for different leagues where you're fighting. But I feel like for the Tim Tszyu fight, I swear his card came up.
Right.
His scorecard from the judges, because they have to put it in after each round, has coming up.
Yeah.
But technically the judges have to score the round and as
in the moment, yeah.
In the moment, individual round. Every round is individual. It's a restart.
Well, no, I did not know that.
No.
I honestly had no idea how it was scored, so I'm so happy I know now.
Bit of fun.
Once again, this podcast is not sponsored whatsoever. This is not a sponsored podcast.
Sounds like it is.
But please go follow Donny Sports on Instagram, and I'll love you forever. Obviously, follow one more mate. Obviously, leave a review, but please go follow Donny Sports on Instagram. My ego would love you forever. All right, back to the pod.
Can I tell you something that my weekend kind of consumed me with? I was going through my socials trying to just, what do I want to get? I need some creative juices thrown at me, the ideas. And anyway, then I got caught on this it was yesterday. I got caught on a kind of this spiral. You know the Huk.
Yeah, the Huk Tuah girl.
The Huk Tuah girl. You know how for a good 10 days maybe there, no one knew who she was.
Yeah.
All the rumors then kind of came out.
Yeah.
She was a school teacher and then she got fired. And then there was another one where it was just her dad's a priest and that's why
really?
she's gone all under all this.
Oh, wow.
That was. Dude, I don't know if you saw this. This is what my TikTok was
I didn't go as
filled
deep
up
into the
with.
Huk Tuah lore as you obviously have.
It was just
I also
everywhere.
wasn't repeatedly Googling who is the Huk Tuah girl, so maybe that would have done you in there, brother.
It's funny. I always be it was always you'd always get a different name and you just be click on the name being not that
not
person.
her,
And then, but going through, but then I also get a shitload of Zach Bryant content.
Yeah, he was,
He just walked her out.
Yeah, on Revival, yeah.
Huh, that's...
I think Zach Bryan's got away.
That's what. Anyway, has come out on a podcast, this girl, and has just been I work at a warehouse.
Nice.
My dad's far from a priest. It was all just...
Yeah, just fun.
A load of shit.
She can really capitalize on this situation if she wants to.
That's my question to you, my friend. After I was watching it all this, she's kind of come out and just said I'd love to tell you the audio. Can I play the audio? We don't have any headphones. You might have had headphones. I wanted to play the audio of her little on this podcast. What she's this is what I'm This is what I'm going to do now.
Okay.
Kind of. And it was just interesting to think. That was. I feel the Huk Tuah was had its peak.
Oh yeah, we've peaked.
Peaked coming way down.
Yeah, rapid.
in that situation, like I feel like our creative juices could flow here for a bit. What would you do if there's something like of that magnitude?
As many podcast appearances as possible.
Yep.
Because you haven't actually. I mean, she's clearly funny.
Yep.
Or at least when she's drunk, she's funny.
I want to play you a bit of audio. Should we put headphones on? Pause here. And I'll just play you the audio.
Yeah,
and then I just want you. We'll come back to it. My question of like, what would you do to capitalize? Is my question.
Yep.
But we'll come back when we play the audio.
Been dropped out of school for like a year or two.
Okay, so this was like
But I don't quit my job. I said peace.
So now is like you're gonna go to LA, you're gonna go to New York.
Oh yeah.
Do you think you see yourself like starting your own type of like show or podcast, or are you just gonna be like an internet personality?
I think we're gonna do like a show, and then we're just gonna be like on a bunch of podcasts and everything else in between.
Cool. So kind of just figuring out as you go.
Oh yeah, there's more to come. Don't worry. There's more to come.
Like, she has the whole team. It's so
Right.
crazy. It happened. The internet is insane. Your life
yeah.
changed overnight.
It really did.
Yeah.
For sure.
Are people coming out of the woodworks now? Like, what are your friends back home like? Are they treating you differently? Are they like being bitches about it?
been, like,
Or
famous
are they?
They're
a
really
week.
supportive.
Oh,
like,
good.
I've had
She's
maybe
been
one or
famous for a
two
week.
that have had some nasty comments about it because the comments I've got from it, I don't even know these people, but I know they're like from my area.
Mm-hmm.
But all the mamas and all my friends and everything else that know me personally, they've attacked that ass. Let me just tell you, it's just been. I can't even tell you.
So
It's just
everyone's
great.
loving it.
Oh yeah.
Where are you from? Like, where did you grow up? You don't
I
have to
grew
say
up
where,
in
but-
Belfast, Tennessee.
That went for long. Anyway,
I mean, God bless her, dude. More power to her, honestly. Do I think? I mean, it sounds to me that there is an ambulance chaser hot on her tail. She would have had about 1 billion managers reach out to her. Yeah, good luck to her.
Where do you like? How far do you think it goes? Like, because I feel like you have to maximize at your peak.
Yeah.
And she's kind of just come out the back end of it. So obviously there's stuff there. Like she was posting with like Shaq and.
Well, what are we talking about the back end? Like she's been. This video came out like a week and a half ago.
20. Yeah. I'd say
Like
maybe, yeah. if
It's
that,
still.
like 10
I mean,
minutes.
if the Island Boys were able to stretch it for like 4 years, she'll be good.
Okay.
She'll be fine. She's gonna make a bad. Is she gonna be famous forever? No.
No. I more think what do you do to like one sustain it, two just maximize that point in time we're in, like right now. But the internet just changes so quickly. Like if you don't remember when Sketch blew up?
Yeah.
And now finding sketch stuff's just like he disappeared. Like he's not that he's disappeared.
No, he's still streaming.
He's
to
still
like
streaming.
thousands of people.
Thousands of people,
Yeah.
massive. You know when that peak comes and they just like he's on every friggin' podcast.
Yep.
He walks out for like the NFL draft, like all that shit. So I'm saying like if you, and I'm not saying she hasn't. I am saying that I feel like that peak of that joke.
It's just
but
good.
now it's like been smacked. What do you do now? Like you've got, all right, I've got a manager. I've come out on stage. Like
It's just good planning.
Yeah.
But I guess when
it's a friggin' wig out though.
it's hard though for her because like she has to be rapid with it. But it's all about planning. That's what any longevity is. Like I mean, I can't really speak from too much experience, but everyone that I know that does this for full time, everyone I know, it's just about persistence and planning. So if she plans it, but the only thing is she just needs good people around her right now. Like she will have to probably burn a bit of cash to get it going, but like, I mean, why would she sounds lovely. She sounds like a good country girl. Like she sounds lovely. Why can't she have a podcast? I mean, if we have a fucking podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we're fucking know. But what would you do in this situation?
I'd make a podcast.
Yeah?
It's 2024.
Just make a potty.
Absolutely. Start being like, actually, the first thing I do if I'm her,
Yeah, make it
because like really cool shit's about to start happening to her. Hire the best videographer you can find.
Yeah.
And get them to fucking follow you around and film you and start posting shit. Because she's about to do a lot of cool shit in a lot of cool places. Yeah. Maybe for 2 weeks. Maybe you'll get 2 weeks.
A month. You'll get a month.
But I'd be hiring the best possible videographer you could find for whatever money you're getting for these appearances. And that's how you like stretch out the fucking... That's how you stretch out the content. That's what I'd be fucking doing. In fact, that's what I did. Oh shit! Now I forget what we're talking about before we're talking about Huk Tuah girl.
I don't know. It was like our weekends or something else. But
I just wanted to make one quick mention before we move on to this South thing.
Yeah.
A lot of chat about Billy Slater. I just think it's very funny. I just think it's very funny
I think it's
that
genius.
that there's a lot of bow and arrows being drawn, a lot of swords being drawn at Billy Slater from people from New South Wales.
Yeah.
I feel like the general vibe up here is like, oh, are we forgetting the chip chase?
Yep.
Sorry. Are we forgetting that he's the best fullback to ever play? A lot of talk about him being a grub. A lot of talk about glass houses. That might work. That might work to the guy that you just got rid of. Yeah? Okay? The guy that you just got rid of, that might work there. We don't care. We don't care. Because Sam Thade was like our hero. You want to talk about grubs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not even going to happen. You will not divide us against the bush poet.
No one's like, no, but they're not though, right?
You
they're
cannot.
not
And what I
gonna
love
do
is
that.
a lot of people being like, "Oh, what changes are you going to make?" Blah 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 blah. We don't. Nah.
We're good.
Are you ready? Are you ready? This is what they're going to do in Queensland camp and New South Wales camp for 100 years now. Haven't been able to do it. Ready? This is what they're going to do in Queensland camp. Ready? They're just going to take a breath and fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
They're going to go through the problem. They're not going to pick around the problem. They're just going to fucking go through it.
We're not
Who's getting dropped? Like you think, and then all this bullshit about how Billy answered that question with we're still Queenslanders. You know why that made you mad? You know why you thought that he was avoiding the question? Because you don't get it.
Yeah, but they couldn't
You
say
don't
that.
fuck, and I don't mean you don't get it. You don't get rugby league. I mean you don't get what he's saying.
No, they don't.
You don't get what he's even trying to say there. That's why you don't understand it. Because you know why? Because you're right. Madge would never say, "Oh, we're still New South Welshmen," because that means nothing.
Well, exactly. Well, Donny, let's like just reverse the role a second. It's we've just beat the fuck out of New South Wales. Oops, did it again, and then Madge gets in there and sits down. Right? It was. What are you gonna make any changes?
Hey, Madge, you gonna? And any ideas on any changes you might make after this game?
Mate, we're New South Welshmen.
Yeah. So you're gonna make like 50 changes this game?
So we're gonna probably fuck off both our second rowers. I'll pick a different utility.
You need a new halfback, I reckon, mate.
I've looked at a few halfbacks.
Yeah.
Could bring them all in.
Have you thought about playing Gutherson at centre?
No, I was literally looking at who are the nines we got at the minute. Who are the nines are getting around? Who are the nines?
Oh, you got Robson.
Appy.
Oh, Appy. He could come back in, dude.
Appy.
That would be really good for Robson's confidence, I reckon.
Well, and then like I don't know who else is there. I like Jake at captain, but there's just something about.
I mean, 2 games is probably enough time to
just
decide
something
whether
about
you're a
him
captain
snapping
material or
cunts
not,
and
right?
Just being such a good bloke that I just go less minutes.
Because the thing is, like, he's been captain for 2 games now. You lost. Probably time to move him on. No, there was pricks. You pricks in the after one game. After one game with Jake as captain. Oh, should he be captain?
Yeah.
Should he be captain?
Hilarious.
Should he be captain? You guys are idiots. You always have been. You always will be. And that's why it pissed you off so much when Billy said, "Mate, we're Queenslanders," and it looked like he was avoiding the question. First of all, do you think he made those changes in the fucking box? Do you think while he's watching the game he's going, "Oh, he's not playing next time"? No. Maybe that's how your guy, who I'm not going to name names, but the guy that's not there anymore, maybe that's how he used to operate. I'm not sure. Maybe that's what you fucking used to. But all this chat, Billy is so rent-free in so many people's heads.
I do. I love it. Are you stressed?
Mate,
I feel like the
5 words.
Yeah.
5 fucking words to everyone from New South Wales that is acting like they just won the series.
Yeah, I do. I think that's the funniest shit ever.
Game 3 decider, Suncorp Stadium. The 5 scariest words in all of New South Wales.
Dude, just boggles my little brain where like one
What
win.
are we talking about?
One win and it's
They're
just
acting like they won this year. Hey, did you pump us? Fucking like I've never seen anything pumped before. I've never seen a pumping like that ever. It was hard to watch. It was extremely hard to watch.
No, we didn't go home at halftime.
No, I wouldn't have done that. I would never do that.
No.
It was hard to sit through. Did I stay up until 11 o'clock that night knowing that I had a show to do at 4 a.m.? Did I stay up till 11:30? The clock ticking as I sat up thinking, what's become of my state? What happens
the fuck
next?
just happened then?
But then you know how I finally got some respite, finally got some sleep? Because Billy Slater's at the helm.
No,
Billy Slater's at the helm, and that helped me get a good night's sleep.
I actually got it. I think I got it before you. I watched the press, and when he just said we're Queenslanders, I went, of course we are.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot for a second.
Just for some reason.
There's about 18 of you that forgot as well, but
Yeah.
I forgot also. I forgot also.
forgive all of you.
Hey, I forgive everyone.
I forgive everyone.
We all forgot.
Just for a second,
We all
it was just
forgot
weird.
for about 80 minutes. We all forgot.
Melbourne was just a bit weird. And you know what I think at the cricket ground?
Get cricket ground, circle.
And make
Doesn't
it
make
no sense.
Doesn't make sense.
And to be fair, it's fun if we like let New South Wales back in.
It's the hope that kills them.
Yeah.
It's the hope that kills
Yeah,
them.
it does.
Game 3 decided at Suncorp Stadium. Good luck.
Yeah, they might change their team.
They probably will.
Yeah.
They probably will tinker with their team.
Yeah.
I promise you they will. There will be changes from
There
New
will
South
be.
Wales. That's just what they do.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say, the absolute last thing I'll say on
Because
it,
this has been a lot of fun. Yeah, what was the last thing you'd say?
next time you want to talk shit about Billy's qualifications,
Don't.
pull up Michael Maguire's Origin highlights at the same time. That's all I'll say to that. Pull his up. Pull his up. Because the only highlights he has is that game. And he was in the fucking coach's box. But anyway, is that us?
That's us.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the first episode. Do us a favour and leave a review. Do us a favour, follow us on Instagram. Follow me at Donny Sports. Follow Robbie
Follow Dryland.
at Dryland.
By Dryland.
Is it at Dryland Co?
Dryland Co. Yeah.
Give us a follow. We'll talk to you all next week. There's a video dropping on Thursday.
Watch it.
Watch the video. It's beekeeping. It's very fun. Another video coming out the next week. And then another one the next week. 'Cause we're guns. All right. Talk to you all soon.